welcome back to O2 Inside Line Live. We're here at Twickenham Stadium, giving a little bit of insight into what the fallow week has been looking like with the England rugby squad. I'm joined by Daniel Waterman, of course, England Rose legend, World Cup winner, as well as the head coach, Eddie Jones. Eddie, thank you so much for joining us. Nolli, the training session was fascinating, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Eddie, talk us through why, firstly, you've come to Twickenham, but also what the session was about today, because they got stuck into each other.
Yeah, we came back into camp on Thursday, sharp little session yesterday morning for about 50 minutes, and we wanted a bit of a hit out today, a bit of a physical hit out, and also just to get the competitive juices flowing. And we play a sort of a hybrid sort of game that we think replicates the game of rugby. So yeah, it was a good hit out for us.
It looked really competitive, even the fitness we saw before the training session. Eddie, you always talk about training above test match intensity. That kind of session there, how high above test match intensity was it today?
We'd probably get about 80% of a game load there,
wow.
Approximately, which is about right for the week. And the guys handle it really well. They're in a good spirits. They've had some time at home and they're ready to kick on now.
Yeah, the one thing that was really evident, wasn't it, Nolli, in terms of the attitude, the energy, that everyone was really vocal. I guess they're all the key barometers which you look for within your team, right?
Yeah, I think it's always a good sign of training when it's noisy and it's loud, and yeah, you can see at the end the guys are on the field doing extra work, so it's a good sign.
And it's the same old faces, Nolli. If we were here, it wouldn't be the back three out here. You've got George Ford just there, Owen Farr. In fact, we have got one back three member, Johnny May.
I was going to say, there's one Keno over there.
There is one Keno, but it's the same old faces leading it, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually, from the sessions, you talk about the volume and stuff. Is there anyone in particular that you look to lead these sessions, or is there responsibility on everybody to bring that intensity to training?
Yeah, we have about 7 or 8 leaders that are all responsible for a certain area, so we want them to lead. But then it's important for the young guys. You know, I was really pleased with guys like Paolo today who you know, have been a little bit quiet, which is normal when you come into a test camp for the first time, but they really showed a bit of himself.
And how important is it to be able to blood the youngsters to train at Twickenham Stadium? Because I was talking to Richard earlier and he was saying actually just getting them to familiarise themselves with where the toilets are, what the change room's like, and you know, some of them haven't had the opportunity to play here yet, but to have an intense training session, surely that kind of helps a little bit.
Yeah, no, it definitely helps, you know, because next time they come, they might be winning their first cap and they know where to go in the dressing room, they know what it's like out on the field, so it all helps.
We were talking earlier about George Martin, who you brought in this week. There'll be lots of people who are watching this that might not be too familiar with him. There's clearly some really good things that you've seen in him. What are they?
Yeah, he's got a good head on him, you know, not too overawed about coming into camp, does the simple things brilliantly, which is what all the good players do.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't a very good player, Nolli, in fairness. But building up, of course, it's a massive week next week. These are the kind of games that you absolutely look forward to, right?
Yeah, no, it's a great week for us. You know, it's always good to play Wales, and obviously the way the competition is at the moment, it's going to be an important game for them and an important game for us.
Absolutely. Well, Nolli, thank you so much for your time today. It's
pleasure.
been brilliant to have you as part of it. We've got our finisher off the bench to make a massive impact once again, former England captain Dylan Hartley.
Boss.
We needed a hooker out there today, mate.
Oh, it was me or you? Oh, you used to do that one, didn't you, in training?
The old days,
grenade.
Mate. Yeah.
The old wonky grenade. It was good to watch today. 12 on 12?
13 on 13.
13 on 13.
Yeah.
So can you kind of explain to people at home why you go 13 on 13? What are you looking for?
Well, it just exposes or makes the players work harder off the ball. And yeah, a game of rugby, the most important thing is the work off the ball. And that's what we try to accentuate in these fallow weeks, the work off the ball. And it was great today, really good.
Yeah, so you're looking at involvements, and there's one moment there I saw Alice Genge, first defender, kick pressure, charge down, and then he ran back and took the quick line out, maybe because you were short a hooker. So those sorts of involvements really good. You mentioned pre-training about Beno Obano, the new shape on the Pirate. What's impressed you about? Well, first of all, can you explain why he's called the Pirate?
Oh, he likes a bandana and a big gold earring.
Yeah, and he walks with a limp as well, peg leg.
Right, I've got to say, because I watch those Next Levels, and some of the nicknames coming out of camp are brilliant. I guess they're reflective of the mix of personalities that you've got with you.
Yeah, no, a lot of different sorts in there, but he's He's such an impressive boy. You know, he's found a new level in himself. I remember we had a discussion about a year ago and he had quite high skin folds, loved the hamburger, hasn't had a hamburger since.
It's disgusting seeing front rows in shape, if I'm honest. They're all changing, but you look at the athletes that you got now. I watched Mako versus Beno on one bit of competition there, and Mako came out on top. But the front rowers now, they're shifting, they're moving some speed and they're agile, they've got good hands, everything I didn't have.
Dylan, Ed, can I ask you a question? Because we talk about personalities and this game is brilliant. You know, rugby is one of the greatest games, all different shapes and sizes, but also thought processes, backgrounds and everything else. It's something that you really endorse and encourage. Can you tell us why you do it and why you think it's important in the game of rugby?
I think it's always important that you're reflective of your society, and that's what I think we are, and that diversity creates different ideas, and different ideas create better ideas. You know, if you've got one group of people thinking all the same thing, then you only get that. And what we want to have is that discussion about, is there a better way to do things?
That's brilliant.
I was going to say that these fallow weeks or down weeks or rest weeks, they're usually followed with a game intensity training. I always dreaded this session, if I'm honest, but it's always made a bit better having fans in here. Is there anything you want to say to people watching at home?
Oh yeah, well I hope you enjoyed it today. I hope you can see how much the players want to play hard for England, and we really enjoy your support, and we can't wait until you're back.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too long to wait. Eddie, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for all the England rugby players for putting in a massive shift. Thank you to Dylan Hartley. It's great for you to be back here, and of course to Daniel Waterman. To all of you that have tuned in today, keep your eyes across all of England Rugby social media pages. I know Joel Stocker's got a brilliant next level lined up for next week. And for now, take care and we'll see you very soon.